It's time to play the game.
Whoa.
It's me. It's me. It's that MATT. And riding with me again is Scotty doesn't know wrestling.
Well, I think my opinions. I know more than he thinks I know. So we'll get all right. We'll be all right.
Hey, I'm working towards that heel persona.
Are you?
Let me see here. I gotta hop in there. Hop into the live here.
How's everybody doing? This Huge Pop Wrestling Podcast. How you guys doing tonight? We're gonna cover some AEW and WC or WWE.
This is afternoon, dude.
I don't care. So,
man, give these people the facts. See, he doesn't even know how to tell time.
Is that your TV that's in the background?
Oh shit! No, that's
Come on. We're professionals. We're professionals.
Heels do heel shit.
We're professionals.
Heels do heel shit.
Well, we're professionals. We got to be professionals.
No, we are not professionals. I'm very clear with that. We are not professionals.
We are not. I think that's what makes our show special.
Who's in here? Who's hopping in this chat? Let us know who you are. I want to see who you are. Ask questions. Say what's up. I say what's up to you, fella.
What's up? So we had Raw.
So I get yeah. The White Rabbit. That's been the hot topic all week. White Rabbit.
The White Rabbit.
Now I'm gonna do a gimmick here. I do think it's something a little bit more serious. I saw a video on TikTok that I thought was hilarious. It showed the Hangman thing. You've seen it, right? The QR code. And it says the Hangman goes ahead, the body, 2 arms, and then 1 leg. Well, it's going to be a former WWE superstar coming back, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be Zach Godwin.
You think so?
1 leg?
Yeah. No, that's not going to happen. Not going to even happen. We might as well bring wheels in if that's what's going to happen.
Hey.
What?
Sorry. Hey. I'm the heel here, goddammit. Taking my thing. No. I also saw something on the White Rabbit that was very interesting. You had the White Rabbit represents Karrion Kross, and that's one of the people from the Firefly Funhouse.
Mm-hmm.
The witch would be Scarlet.
Mm-hmm.
And then the buzzard or whatever would be Dexter Lumis.
Yes.
So those are people's guesses. I saw that one. And if that's cool if they did something like that, but Andrew put this out there as his dream return for because we saw Wyatt 6, right? Everything says Wyatt 6 for Bray Wyatt stuff.
Right.
How about this? You bring back Bray Wyatt. You have him team up with Karrion Kross if you got to. Redbeard is part of that.
Mm-hmm.
Eric Redbeard. You let him come back with Bo Dallas, his blood brother.
Okay.
He hasn't been in because everyone knows that Bo Dallas was the Fiend at the last pay-per-view that he was at.
Right.
And then there was who did he say for the 5th one? Oh yes, because he thinks go completely a different direction with it. Rosemary from TNA. Try to get her to come over and be Sister Abigail.
Yeah, I mean that's a good idea, but I don't think that part would be possible. I don't think she's ready to. She's not going to leave TNA. She's embedded. She's
not going to.
No,
but it'd be a fun thing to do.
It's a good idea. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be. It's got to be Karrion Kross. He's going to be part of that. It's just inevitable. If he's not, then they got us all going If it's not, then they got fooled. Is it necessarily gonna be Bray Wyatt?
It could just be Karrion Kross.
Could be Karrion Kross. It could be another name I had out there. I've seen it, but I would not be surprised if it was just Karrion Kross, and this is his way of finally attacking. I mean he's done his little bitty the cutting of the ring, blah blah blah. I mean, I don't know, but I do like the idea of him teaming up with Bray Wyatt. But then how far is that going to go until it gets stupid?
Yeah.
That's the problem I have with the gimmicks. I like the storylines when they start out. I like the QR code. I like the hangman. I like the gloves in the doorway. I love all that cryptic crap that they've been pulling. But I would bet that I would venture to say it's going to be that first one you said, with Bray Wyatt, with Karrion Kross and Scarlett, and you said, who'd you say as
Dexter Lumis would end up being the
yes. I can see that. That'd be good. I think I'd be excited for that. But again, they got to keep it going. They can't just do this and then blah. And as long as if they do it, it has to be with Bray Wyatt being the cryptic or the not the funhouse guy.
Someone posted, and this is why I'm really thinking that it's going to be, unless I'm reading way too much into it. But they posted a video of a interview that Bray did with who did he do the interview with? Oh, with Michael Cole. And they asked him, he asked him what's wrong or what's ruining wrestling or whatever. And Bray says, I'm gonna let you right now know it's you. You are. Who's ruining and killing wrestling? You, or who killed wrestling? You did. It's the same thing that the Hangman thing had. And I really enjoy, I like it. And if it's Bray, and it makes me want to tune in. If not, I mean, maybe not for the whole show, but at 9:20, I'm turning my TV on to make sure that at 9:23 I see what's going on.
Right. You don't think it's 9:23 the date? You think 9:23 is the time?
Well, remember, the first time it had the two flashing dots, right? And that's the time. And then it's going to be 9:23 on 9:23.
I'd be paying attention to the first part of the show and not wait until 9:23, because I mean, that does sound legit, right? It does sound like it's going to happen on 9:23 at 9:23. But a lot of people are going to not tune in to the first part of it to catch the second part of it. And then they're all going to be pissed off because you missed it. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, at 8, I got family time at 8 o'clock from 8 until 9, and then I can watch it. So I watched the second hour.
I'm hoping you don't miss it. But and I hope it. And if they do that, I hope since they got everybody all pumped up for that, I hope they don't just do something stupid. I hope it's a impactful return.
Yeah, and you talk about just the cryptic and the creepy shit that's going on. Dexter Lumis.
Yeah.
I mean, that guy is. There's a reason. Do you remember when he was Sam Shaw in TNA?
Yes.
And I think didn't Ken Anderson coin the phrase or coin the label creepy bastard or something like that?
Yes, it was Ken Anderson. Yeah.
Yeah. Creepy bastard.
Yeah. Who is Karrion Kross's wife over at NXT? His girlfriend.
That's Scarlett.
No, I'm sorry, Loomis's wife. Loomis.
Oh, that's Indy Hartwell.
Do you think she could come over? Eventually be part of that? She
could be. I mean,
there's enough. Could she be? Oh, never mind. Not Lily. There's enough. That's why I hope they don't do. Bring them as the characters of the Firefly Funhouse. To me, That's ridiculous. And I don't want to see that. I don't want to see the Firefly Funhouse again. I hate the music. I
don't think you're going to see the fun-loving, happy-go-lucky, hi, boys and girls. I think you're going to see something very dark.
Okay.
And very creepy.
And I'm okay with that. But when he starts doing that, hi, you boys and girls. No, I don't. Yeah. That's what made me not like him. I loved him when he came out with the lantern. And he would blow and disappear. That's the Bray Wyatt I want to see. I don't want to see that other stupid thing with the Jack in the Box, and I don't want to see that. Hey guys, let's learn how to do. No, I just no. We're not doing. I can't do that. I can't stomach that. So
you like the whole? We're here.
Yeah, run. Yeah, I like that. To me, that's sadistic. To me, that's evil. And, I love it. So.
I mean, Raw was okay.
Raw was okay. Some good stuff, some not so good stuff.
The spot where Seth Rollins tried curb stomping Lashley, and Lashley said, "Nah."
Yeah, that was intense, man. But on that match, man, I'm not, and this is gonna blow you away. I'm not a Seth Rollins fan of his new stuff, of his new gimmicks and shit. But that night when he lost to Lashley, in my opinion, that could have been WWE's chance to push Seth Rollins up to make him strong. Now all that did was have this, and I'm sorry, I call it like I think it is. I see Bobby Lashley as a mid-card. I don't think he's huge. Yeah, don't get me wrong, but I just don't like him in that championship spotlight. I didn't like him when he was with the Hurt Business. I didn't like him when he had his wife with him. I didn't like any of it. He's not. I don't think he's championship material. I'm going to say this. I wish Seth Rollins. Yes, I said it. The drip god of Raw. I wish he would have won that belt. I think that would have been best for business.
He doesn't need a. There's people that, and I say this every time we talk about anybody. We don't need. He's a guy that doesn't need a championship.
And I agree with that.
He helped the championship develop. He's gonna get over regardless if he has a strap or if he doesn't.
Yeah, but I agree with that. You're absolutely 100% right. But I think he deserves it.
I don't think he deserves a U.S. push. I think he deserves a main title push.
But do something with that. Give him a belt. Give him a push, and then make him go. I don't know. I think I would have given him the belt. I was shocked. I think a lot of people were shocked that he didn't win that. I was shocked.
Well, they got to continue the feud. You kind of knew because he's already got his match set up for Extreme Rules. He's got his match with Riddle. So they weren't going to throw a title on him before that match. It just doesn't make any sense because
it doesn't.
They need so again, that kind of throws a monkey in the wrench, if you will.
Right.
So with
I just was like, I couldn't. I mean, Damage Control held their celebration, and we had Alexa Bliss and Asuka come in, and
I'm glad they're not getting Alexa Bliss involved with Bray Wyatt or whatever this White Rabbit shit is.
Absolutely.
I'm glad they're not, because this Alexa Bliss, excuse my language, I want bitch ass Alexa Bliss. Yes. I don't want gothic. I cut myself Alexa Bliss.
Right.
I want the Alexa Bliss that is a bad bitch.
Right. Absolutely. 100%. That Bray Wyatt shit ruined her, in my opinion. Going through all that therapy sessions and all that. No. I want the Alexa Bliss that was before Bray Wyatt and the Funhouse.
I want her to be heel Alexa Bliss, though. Like, she's kind of a face right now, and it's like, really?
She would be better heel. She would. If it's done right.
Yeah. Well, she was a heel for the longest time with her talk show and all that kind of stuff. That
right.
I enjoyed that. She was just a bitch, and now she's popcorn or bubblegum again.
Right. Well, that was. I mean, every time you see the Damage Control, every time you see them out there, you got to expect good stuff. Bailey's rocking it. This part that she's rocking the hell out of it.
I hope, and I hope she beats the brakes off of Bianca Belair. I can't stand her. Bianca Belair is just one of those girls. Like, really, like seriously, TikTok. I don't know. I'm done with you.
Right. I mean,
I've never liked her. Even when she was in NXT, I didn't like her.
Right. I mean, you can't bring Bailey back and then have her lose that Extreme Rules, because all you're going to do if she loses that Extreme Rules, you're going to do what I've noticed a lot in wrestling lately is them burying people that could rise to the top. If you take Bailey out and let Bianca Belair beat her, I think that's going to be wrong. I think that it's not going to serve a good purpose for Bailey, and that's bad writing. But I don't think Triple H is gonna. I think you're going to see a new champion at Extreme Rules. I really do.
I hope. I mean, I'm just glad, and I'm sure you are too. That Charlotte's gone.
Is she though?
But she hasn't been on TV for how long?
You watch. She shows up tomorrow night.
Is she the White Rabbit?
I hope to God not. But I've seen rumors that she's coming back and she's going to challenge that title, and they're going to give her a push. I wouldn't be surprised. That's a possibility. Now that you talk about it, I never thought about that. Could she be? I don't know how they do it. How would they do that? Sure, hell, you ain't gonna put Charlotte Flair with Bray Wyatt, are you?
You can't.
No, there'd be no way. But it's not a bad idea that it could be some cryptid message, and we're all thinking Triple H has us by the tail because we're all thinking Bray Wyatt, Dexter Lumis, or Karrion Kross. It could.
I mean, it has us all talking about people that haven't been on TV.
What if it is? What if Charlotte Flair comes out?
923 hits and Charlotte Flair's music hits. I will be pissed. I will be pissed.
You wait up till 923 to see that.
Like,
I'm just saying. Yeah.
I might have to be on a live at that point and just be like, all right, 923. What's going on?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I don't know. What I can say is I'm so impressed with Kevin Owens, and where he's going and what his character's doing. And I mean, he looks good. He's talking good. I love it. And I hope they give an angle where he gets that case off of Theory and he can challenge for and he can cash it in. I like that idea. I heard another name that might be able to take that case off of Theory. It would be who would I see? Who is it? Johnny Gargano that's giving him shit too, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that would be epic.
Yeah, I believe KO over Johnny just because and I would hope Triple H is starting to do that as we go. I think he's starting to look at who would beat who in a shoot fight. Right. And I think KO would have a better shoot fight with Roman than say Johnny Gargano.
Right. Do you think we'll see that at Extreme Rules?
Possibly.
Yeah.
I think someone had mentioned in a video on TikTok. Again, I'm just pulling a few things from there. That they think that the 24/7 title should like everyone thinks, should be thrown out. But in place, whoever has the Money in the Bank championship, Money in the Bank briefcase is subject to, like the Hardcore Championship, is subject to any time, any place could lose it until they cash in.
Yeah, but are you gonna make it? Are they gonna make a joke? I mean, you know my opinion on Money in the Bank. Are they gonna continue making a joke of that? I mean, what I'm saying.
Yeah,
I get what you're saying. There'd be more purpose to that, because you got to cash that in for a championship, a big championship. So I'd rather see that, but I don't want them to continue making a mockery of what was so good back in the day when Money in the Bank was at WrestleMania. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, like everyone has said everywhere on social media about Money in the Bank, it should not be its own pay-per-view.
Right.
It should go back to being the first match of the night at WrestleMania.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it. And if they want to be douchebags about it and still have cash-ins on the night that it's won or whatever, they could have, because here's Vince's deal or WWE's deal. They want their 2 nights of WrestleMania, make their money. I get it, whatever. But there's 2 nights of Mania. Let them cash in on the second night if you absolutely want that. But
right.
Hey, whoever joined us, thanks for stopping by. I see we're up to 2 people, and I'm one of them. So, thanks.
Then you had the Dexter Loomis. We've seen this before. And I was cool. I'm not gonna say it wasn't cool. Dexter Loomis cutting the mat and coming through the mat and blah blah blah.
And the Miz shitting his pants because he
right. And I was listening to a podcast that they were talking about how long Dexter Loomis was under that ring. He had a lot. He probably was under there from the get-go. And the question was, how long is that? What does he have underneath the ring to help him be okay to wait 3 hours without shitting himself or pissing himself? But that was a stupid. I was just listening to a podcast. They were talking about this stuff, and I'm like, okay, guys. But truly, how long does a guy stay underneath that mat like that? Is it planted all night?
That's a question that I would love to. We should have asked that to Mike when he was on. Because I have a feeling that because they do, if you think about it, they have all those cameramen out there, right? And they're all wearing black. And I wonder if they they walk out with them like halfway through the show and be like, all right, you just got to sit here for an hour under the ring, and then we cut you through, or something along those lines.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. Just interesting. But I've seen that. Didn't Kane cut a hole through the ring and pull?
Kane did it. Undertaker did it.
Right. I guess I'd rather have seen him attack over the barriers like he always does, or something like that. Next time you're going to see him as a cameraman, and he's going to attack him after the match or something like that. They need to get something different. I think that's what my brain went to that. I was like, okay, I get it. I get it. I get why they did it, but I don't know. I was like, so. And what did you think about the exchange that AJ Styles had with Finn Balor in the back?
That was interesting.
You think he won't join Judgment Day? Do you think?
I hope not, but
I know he's your boy.
Oh, I love AJ. He needs to get pushed, but he could have great matches. I mean, think about this. AJ Styles and Cody Rhodes battling for a championship. Yep. AJ Styles I mean, Finn and Cody when he comes back. I mean, I honestly think AJ and Austin Theory could put on a great match. AJ showed himself how well he could do against Johnny Gargano as well. Yeah. They put on a banger of a match.
Yep.
It's AJ is one of those generational talents who, in my opinion, could wrestle a mop and put on a 5-star match.
Yeah, agreed.
And that's essentially what he's going to end up doing if he's got to wrestle, like if he ends up wrestling Dominic.
So that brings that next question is, how long will we get to sit through Dominic being with he needs to return to NXT or something else.
Well, he's not going to. I'm actually starting to enjoy his gimmick.
You like it?
It's better than
what it was. Yeah, I agree. But he just seems out of place.
It's still a hashtag you can't wrestle.
Right.
You know, it's.
Okay, I chuckled. I laughed. I was like, "What?" His statements. Oh, I'm gonna help. I probably should go help my dad. He's not my dad anymore, or something like that. I'm like, come on. You got to get some fresh lines. You got to be able to speak. You got to be smooth, and you're not.
I think what they need him to do is do exactly what they started with, and keep him dark, and make sure Rhea controls his every move.
Yes,
that's the only way this works. Him independently doesn't work yet. It could end up working at some point, but it doesn't work yet.
I'm just not a fan of his work in-ring skills. I think he's not that great, but that's just my opinion. Of course, Scotty don't know wrestling, so that's an opinion I have.
We got
I love what Bailey had to say to Bianca at the end of the night. As she's kneeling down and saying, "I'm that your title's mine," and I hope that's what they do.
So then the next night we had NXT.
Yeah, let's talk about that.
I understand why they did what they did with Solo, because you have to get him to the main show. I think it was lazy writing on how he dropped that title.
He can't hang with the guys in the WWE, so I don't know. Regardless, he's not good. He sucks. There's no way Dom can hang with anybody, unless he's Rhea Ripley's puppet, and she's doing all the conversation for him. He is garbage, in my opinion.
I don't know. But no, on NXT, the way how they did Solo dirty like that was bullshit, in my opinion.
And you're right. It's lazy writing, Matt. How it's like they let it happen.
Oh,
shit, we messed this up.
Yeah, but that's what I see here. It could be. That's just my and your opinion,
right?
Everyone's entitled to their own opinion, and that's all. This is what this show's all about. It's not,
right.
We can disagree,
right?
But it just felt wrong.
Like it felt. Even Shawn Michaels looked confused.
Yeah, Shawn's like, I really don't want to do this because of bullshit, but
this is a dumb angle. This is how, but they say, okay, they probably got there. Oh shit, we messed up. Should have done it. Doesn't make sense that he has the belt on Raw or SmackDown with his fam. And now we got to fix it. So we have this title on NXT. So let's just have him hand over the title because we made a mistake. And it looks so that I like the site. It looks stupid. It was like, okay. And you're right. And what's wrong? What is wrong with having that title on the main roster? What is wrong with that?
There's nothing wrong. There really isn't, because you can for NXT, it's what, an hour-long show, right?
Yes.
It's just 1 hour. You don't need 2 championships on 1 hour on a 1 hour show.
You're right.
Showcase your NXT champion each week. Let Braun Breaker be showcased every week.
Yes.
Let JD McDonough get showcased each week. Let the guys. Oh, it is a 2. Okay.
But still, the point is, there's enough talent, enough belts on that show. I don't know. I just think that should be allowed back on the main roster. And okay, so what are you gonna do? You got this group of people, the Usos and the head of the table, all with belts. You bring this guy, he just won the belt from NXT. Bring it here. Now we all have belts. To keep
everyone except for Sami Zayn. And that should have been the angle that they pushed, because then Sami Zayn, or everyone would have had a championship except for Sami Zayn.
Right.
And then basically the Usos and Sami, or the Usos, Solo, and Roman, I'll be like, all right, what are you bringing to my table?
Right. So now what belt can...
And then they basically shat on that idea.
So to keep the persona, or to keep the how powerful the bloodline is, you have to give him a title. So what title are you going to give him? There's no title. What title are you going to have him go for on the main roster? There's none.
You could go ahead and say, okay, you can go and challenge Walter for the Intercontinental Champion, or Gunther. It's not believable. Gunther would beat the brakes off that guy.
I mean, if he gets more mature, I think he could stand a chance. But he's so young, and so not green, but he is green in this, as far as it is being brought up in the bloodline.
The guy's raw and he's awesome. He's gonna be a champion at some point.
Yes, I agree, but he needed a title with the bloodline, in my opinion. And that's just my opinion. I think if you're gonna make the bloodline strong, you need to have everybody on that team have a title. Okay. And that's why I was disappointed that they had to do this weird segment.
Yeah, he could happen. Actually.
That could happen. Possible. I didn't think about that. But they need to get, if the bloodline's going to be strong, they need to give him a belt. That's just they just need to.
I agree.
If you're going to put a strap on him.
Yeah.
So maybe that's why they had Lashley beat Seth Rollins. I don't know. Maybe they have plans of having him fight Lashley, but you're going to have to fight him on a different show. So yeah, Sami Zayn could be. That'd be a fun match to watch for Lashley and Sami Zayn. I just don't like. He should always be that nuisance, but his characters. I'm beginning to like his character more. I want to know what they're going to do with that too. There's obvious tension between Jay and him. Is Jay going to get booted out of the bloodline?
Jay?
Yeah, he's the one they're having fun. Isn't Sami Zayn and him are having issues?
He's part of the tag team champions. He's not.
Okay, yeah, but have you seen the friction in the last couple of weeks? Solo picked Sami Zayn over his cousin. There's something going to be happening. You guys watch. There's something going to be happening with that tag team. And they're going to be split up.
I don't think so.
Well, watch it. Call me Scotty don't know wrestling, but that's a opinion I have. I think you're going to find Usos splitting up.
Good. I mean,
I don't know. Maybe
we can move right into Grand Slam. We got about 20 minutes left of the show, so let's head right into Grand Slam, and there's some winners and there's some losers in this, and I feel the losers. It was an absolute travesty that they took the strap off of Claudio. Claudio Castagnoli should not have lost to Chris Jericho. It was an absolute fumble, in my opinion.
Well, why? Why not? Why not give this title to a guy, in my opinion, is probably one of the best teachers, probably one of the best supporters of talent coming in. Why not give? He's a workhorse. Jericho's always there. Jericho is always gonna do what he's doing. He's the attention getter. You know, they pop for him. They don't pop for Claudio as much as they pop for Jericho. Jericho is that asshole figure that just gets over, and he deserves a title shot. He deserves a title. I mean, I'm okay with it, but the problem I have with it is, Matt, is Claudio is is good talent, right? I think he's great. Don't get me wrong. I think he's great. But I'm feeling that Khan does it. Triple H does it. They get these guys in there, and all of a sudden, now what are you going to do with him? And my fear is he's going to be on Rampage instead of Dynamite. You know what I'm saying? I hope not.
Nightmare says it I mean, I guess I get what Nightmare is saying. Jericho winning the title is the right call to get a TV deal for ROH. I get it because he is a big name. Mm-hmm. But why not? I mean, if you're gonna do a guy like Claudio dirty like that, you should have, in my opinion, brought in someone who, I mean, Jericho is relevant, but I would have loved to have seen him give it to someone that is a little younger and a little bit more, give it to someone that people in the world of wrestling is. I mean, everyone knows who Chris Jericho is. There's no question about it. But Jericho, in my opinion, is going to be a part-time talent because when Fozzy starts touring, he's going to go somewhere else and not be on TV.
Right. Well, I mean, going off what Nightmare said, if they're trying to get a TV deal for ROH, you're going to have that big name Chris Jericho as their champion. You know what I'm saying? So it's, I guess, but that better happen soon because, like you said, they're going to tour here soon. So a TV show ought to be popping up real soon to make that even possible, to make that relevant.
Yeah.
Because why have a guy on there for a week and then he goes on tour? All right. Now you have this vacant title again. I don't know. I was like you. I was in shock when I told you on the phone last night. Oh shit, Claudio just got beat. And of course, it was true Jericho fashion, low blow, blah blah blah, whatever, and he won. So, but I get it. If it's for a TV deal, I'd have to. If I was ROH and I was a TV station or a channel, I would probably want Chris Jericho to be the face of that instead of Claudio. No disrespect to Claudio, I think he's great, but I think Jericho is the right winner on that if that's the case.
So then,
hey Nightmare, when are they talking about bringing it on to TBS? Do you know? So go ahead, Matt.
So then we go and get the Acclaimed, and
I see out.
Well, they're gonna break up that tag team with Swerve and
Well, I don't want to be rude because I'm a big guy, but my thing with Keith Lee, he's a big dude, and
he has put on more weight since he left WWE,
right?
And he doesn't look
healthy.
Comfortable.
Doesn't. No. I'm
glad the Acclaimed won because the Acclaimed are your heel tag team. They are entertaining. They get you to not like them. And it sets up a rivalry with Swerve and Keith Lee, I think.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think Keith Lee and Swerve are gonna probably here in the next couple of weeks. They're gonna break up and attack it. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna be done. But yes, Keith Lee and Swerve don't. Yeah, I don't get it. So I was okay with the win. I mean, of course, you had Daddy
Scissor me, Daddy ass.
Yeah, Daddy ass in there to help. You know, whatever. Yeah, so that was that. Orange Cassidy and Pac. That was
entertaining.
That was good.
That was an entertaining match. I was really there's in the comments, that's awesome. I was really hoping that Orange would win.
Right.
And yes, I know he's starting to grow on me, you know. He's entertaining. It's entertainment. I have to kind of remove my thoughts, but he's good in ring too, so I can't really.
Right.
But yeah.
But before that wasn't it before that when MJF came out and talked to and Wheeler Yuta was there?
Didn't he call Wheeler Yuta a cuckold or something like that?
Yes.
Wow.
He did. And he also shoved old boy Tony, not Tony.
Tony Schiavone.
Tony Schiavone. So as I'm watching this happen, he shoves him.
The Blackpool Cuckold Club.
Yes. As I'm sitting there watching this, in my opinion, if you're gonna start handing out, like, be the strong owner of this company, right? Whether it's storyline or whether it's a shoot, pushing an official or a announcer or something that's not a wrestler, that ought to be a suspension. And if that's a suspension, how are you gonna let him go against Moxley in a championship match? He needs to be suspended.
Sorry, my dog's going nuts over here.
That's just my opinion.
Just a second, I gotta see if someone's at the door.
Okay. So my opinion, you know, we've seen the engagement of Yuta and MJF, and then Morrissey comes in. I don't think they're gonna. I would hope that they hold off giving MJF the title a little bit to build a storyline. That's just me. Because there's a lot you could do. You could have MJF and Yuta. Maybe Yuta comes after he beats or if he beats Moxley. I don't know. But that segment with MJF was prime MJF shit. It doesn't make sense. Moxley and MJF. It does because of their stare down they had a couple months ago, and there's story between Moxley and MJF. But I think they need to hold off on that. I think there's other ways to build up to that Moxley MJF, and I would hope he doesn't cash in at the next. But
the reason they're doing it, from what I have seen, is because of when Moxley and MJF had their first match back, like, what, about a year ago?
Something like that, yeah.
MJF Moxley won, but it wasn't clean.
Right.
It was Moxley won because Wardlow threw the ring, and because Moxley wasn't supposed to use the paradigm shift.
Right.
And Wardlow distracted the ref, and Mox hit him with the paradigm shift, and he was able to win.
Right.
So, I mean, I guess I understand. Like, and then after the end, Moxley was all like, so maybe something happens where MJF cashes in by hitting Moxley with the chip, pins him 1, 2, 3, and then stands over with it going.
That's sort of thing, Please tell me how you guys think. MJF, I have not seen MJF win a match cleanly by himself without a ring, without a chip, without his bitches coming in. He can't do it on his own. Moxley in all reality, but Moxley in all reality will tear the shit out of him in a street fight. He beat the piss out of that boy. Because that's all he is. He's a fucking boy.
He's a heel.
He's a boy. He's a child.
He will be the youngest AEW champion.
So give him the youngest AEW fucking championship. Go ahead. But he's ignorant. He's a heel. I don't care. But Moxley is a badass, and he's going to whoop the shit out of this boy. And if he doesn't, Tony Khan, you need to learn how to write better. Because everybody, about MJF, he's a cocky SOB, blah, blah, blah. He is. He's arrogant. And he's a heel. Sure, Matt, he's a heel. But it's not realistic to have Moxley lose to him in a cash-in. And I guess that's why I don't like Money in the Bank. I don't like the chip. It's stupid. It's not realistic.
It's more believable than Austin or than Theory cashing in on Roman.
I agree with that. But I don't like the chip in a case. I don't like it. It's because it does make no sense. You beat somebody because somebody beat them for you. Again, okay, so let's do the same angle we did with Wardlow and MJF as we're going to see with Morrissey and MJF. Then you're going to see it all over again. Except for maybe this time Morrissey's not going to be stupid enough to sign a contract to work as MJF's bitch.
Well, he's a contracted, he's a hired hitman is all he is. Morrissey's just as needed. He's not owned by anybody.
Not yet.
I
hope they don't go that angle again.
Yeah, Nightmare. I did see that Wardlow got hurt last night in the Rampage tapings.
That Rampage taping looked sick as heck. I'm interested in that Rampage and some of that Rampage stuff.
The Great Muta.
Yeah.
That was
badass.
Muta versus Sting.
No.
Is that what it was?
No, Muta came down and he spit mist into what's his face? That was
Brody King?
Yeah.
Okay.
As Sting was sitting in a chair. I don't know why Sting was sitting in a chair. I didn't they only showed the part where Muta came down and sprayed mist.
It's Muta and Darby and Sting versus the rest of the.
Yeah.
Okay.
It looked
Take
pretty
my
intense.
Money.
There you go. But no,
But after the MJF segment, we saw Tony Storm retain her.
Yeah.
We'll get to that, Nightmare. We'll get to that.
Yeah.
We saw Tony Storm retain and take an absolute beat down by Britt Baker and her group of bad bitches. And then
they met a bad bitch.
They did. And I hope Saraya. I hope Saraya comes when she comes back. I hope she doesn't get hurt.
Right.
With all of her neck injuries and all of her past injuries. I just don't want to see her end up getting really, really fucked up.
And that's been a case. You've seen that a little lot, not quite often, but a bit with talents coming back from that were WWE's talents that came to AEW because older talent like Paige, like Sting, like some of those guys, they come back and you just hope they don't get hurt.
Yeah.
CM Punk, how many times has he been hurt since he's been in AEW?
Well, he'll be in our next conversation.
Right, but you know what I'm trying to say, though?
Yeah.
I agree. I hope Paige doesn't come back or Saraya doesn't come back and get hurt. So,
but that was a big pop. That they needed a big pop and a big return, I think, for that.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, her boyfriend or whatever is the lead singer to Zombify.
Nice. So yeah. So that Matt Page returning was awesome. Yeah, that was pretty cool. Huge pop.
And then that was a huge pop of the night, because then I went into the Moxley Bryan match and they beat the living piss out of each other.
Yeah.
They beat the living piss. I mean,
right.
And I am wearing my Moxley shirt because I am a Moxley guy, but I was just hoping, because like you said a few minutes ago, Moxley versus MJF in a shoot fight, Moxley would beat the brakes off of him. I think MJF versus Bryan Danielson would have been a more believable fight.
I agree. Absolutely.
So maybe that doesn't happen. Maybe they have a third match between Bryan Danielson and MJF at full. I'm just fantasy booking here. Full Gear, you have Bryan Danielson, Moxley 3, and Danielson wins. Then MJF comes out, cashes in, and it's that.
And now that might work, because if you watch the whole match through, after Danielson lost, he stripped the belt away from the referee, and I was hoping that he'd just clock Moxley with it. But so I bet that's not gonna be the end of Danielson. I think you're right. No. I think you're onto something. I think in this 2-hour rampage that is coming this Friday, could you see Danielson address that and ask for a rubber match? And then it'd be a good idea that if one of those guys get beat down, then the MJF comes in, because those guys, like you said, they put on a hell of a match. They beat the shit out of each other to the point where they're like exhausted, where it would make it easier for MJF to come down without anybody and cash that chip in. So I like that. I like that idea. I really do. That might work.
I mean, Mox is Mox, and I'm glad he won, but at the same time, I'm like, man, it didn't set it. I mean, I guess it sets it up for Mox Danielson 3,
right?
And my storyline, but I don't know if I like it.
Right.
So tomorrow night or tonight we have SmackDown and Rampage. But before we
don't. Tonight's only Thursday, bro.
Oh shit! Yeah.
Where are you at? You gonna watch that now?
Tonight we have Thursday night football. We have is it Tampa Bay versus
That's no.
Tampa and
no.
I was just talking to someone about it today too. Just talking to Ryan about it.
I don't know.
Well, anyway, so we got Thursday night football, but anyway, because I don't watch wrestling on Thursday night.
You're gonna have Thursday night.
It's a good game though. Green Bay, Tampa Bay, Green Bay.
Yeah. Tampa Bay, Green Bay.
But now Punk got bought out by AEW.
Mm-hmm. Well, did they make that final?
All the wrestling conglomerates are reporting it.
Well,
Wrestle News, they have it
it doesn't say he was bought out yet. He said Punk's was excluded.
Expected to be bought out.
Expected to be, yeah, expected to be. So I don't want you to throw out that he was, and he doesn't, and that doesn't happen. Well, but it's going to happen.
And it's the best move for everybody that's involved.
Yeah.
Because, like it or not, if you get rid of, if you don't get rid of one of the two people, it's going to create probably the most toxic environment in your locker room if some of them doesn't, at least one half of the situation doesn't go away.
I mean, Punk's the winner.
I love CM Punk. I don't like the situation that he was allowed to put himself into, and he was allowed to be put himself into with Tony Khan. And we're not going to revisit that argument again because we have different opinions. It's history repeating itself. It truly is, because he walked out, and I'm not saying he walked out on AEW, but he's being pushed out for backstage issues. He walked out because he didn't like what was going on in ROH. He was pushed out because he spoke up at WWE, and now it's essentially that's going to happen for a third time.
The man that has his opinions can't voice his opinions without getting in trouble. So it's a win-win, for my opinion, for him.
Oh yeah, now he can go and do podcasts and can do whatever he wants.
Talk his shit about whoever he wants to talk shit about, and no one can say anything about it.
I just hope he's not stupid enough to go back to UFC and get his ass beat again.
No, he ain't gonna do that. He's a winner. You know damn well Khan's gonna pay him big bucks. And what I hope doesn't happen, which it probably will, because no one wants to see everybody's side of the story. They want to see what Punk did. What I hope's not going to happen, but it probably is going to. Once they buy out Punk, guess who's going to come back? Oh, happy-go-lucky, the Young Bucks and Omega. And that, to me, shows nothing, no balls whatsoever of the man Tony Khan.
Well, they're saying that the Bucks are suspended indefinitely, that they're not going to be on TV for a good while. Wow. Because Tony, they'll come back at Double or Nothing. Promise you, they'll come back at the second biggest pay-per-view of the year, or something along those lines.
Yeah, but is that the right move?
I mean, they helped build the company. I mean, it was their idea. It was.
I guess I'll take that.
Well, we don't have enough time to really do a deep dive into that. But
right. I'll take that. If they did help create the company,
and they almost had help. They almost put their hand in ruining the company.
Right. So if I'm Tony Khan, I'd be like, I don't know. But I'm glad. I'm happy for CM Punk. You know, he did what he did. He helped build that. He helped raise that company to the next level. And if he's done, he's done. It's time for him to leave. I mean, how old is he? About 38, 40? Bad shit. I mean,
he's older than me. He's got to be in his mid-40s.
So you know what? Khan's going to pay him some big dollars. Now he can tell them all to fuck off. And share all kinds of stories about whoever he wants to share about.
The Windy City Podcast with CM Punk.
And you better believe, once this is all done and over with, he is going to come out and verbalize, and people are going to not like, or no, wait. People like you and everybody else that are hating on what he said at the scrum are going to go, oh my God, did you see what he said on Twitter? Woo, that was so awesome. The same shit he said at the scrum, he's going to say on Twitter, and everybody's going to love it. And I'm going to ask the same question. What's the difference between the Twitter page and at the scrum interview? Other than his boss is sitting next to him at the scrum interview. And then he has no boss now. But it's the same. But everybody's going to jump on board to his, and he's going to do it. You better damn well believe he's going to do it. He's a mouthpiece like Logan Paul, a mouthpiece like Conor McGregor. He's a mouthpiece that's going to run his mouth because he knows he can. And everybody's going to love it then, but they didn't love it over here. And I'm going to laugh because it's going to be the same thing. Now, except for this time, he's free to do it. Which is going to happen, right? You think he's going to run his mouth?
Well,
once he can. Do you not, or do you think he's going to be quiet?
I don't think he's, because right away. Remember, he's getting surgery done on his what is it? His pecs.
Something like that.
So I think you're going to see him go into radio silence for a while.
Okay.
And then come back with a podcast, and all eyes will be on that podcast. Because people do. They want to know what his real feeling, like they want to see his side of the story, because you know damn well the Bucks and Omega and those other people, Tony Khan went right and got in their face and said, "You're done. You don't talk about this." That's why he shut down BTE.
Right.
But we got to get going.
Yeah. So, thanks, Matt, for hanging out. Huge Pop Wrestling Podcast. We love it. Every Tuesdays and Thursdays.
October 18th. Circle it on your calendar. Former ROH champion, current TNA Impact superstar Shane Taylor of Shane Taylor's promotion.
Yes, sir.
Will be our guest on October 18th.
Yes, sir.
It's going to be a lot of fun.
Yes, sir.
And we're still working on Mr.
Kennedy
Anderson. And as always, it's me. It's that M-A-T-T.
And it's me. Scott knows wrestling. Tell that boy.
I knows a little bit about wrestling.
Now tell that piece of shit over here.
I tell you what. He wants to bring in some jackass named Ryan or something.
I know. Hey, I've been looking through your TikTok, people you talk to. You know what? Ryan's the best choice. So you take your headset off. You do whatever you want to do, punk ass. But we'll see you next Tuesday. I'm out.